welcome to episode 15 of 30 years in the making. We're halfway through. This is Wrestlemania 15 at the First Union Center in Philadelphia with an attendance of 20,276. We start off with Boys to Men singing the national anthem, which Tony loved.
It was appalling.
It was.
Not a single note was in tune.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I get it was their own sort of like version of it and their own interpretation of it, but it wasn't that great, and they probably cost a lot of money to get in.
Boys to Men can at least sing.
No.
I completely disagree with you, but okay.
Big fan.
We don't. I'll make love to you. Right. Then we get the WrestleMania video, which we're now accustomed to, where we get Freddie Blassie narrating. We get loads of different moments, and we get, for the first time ever, uttered the words, the showcase of the Immortals.
Yeah.
We then go into the matches. It's Hardcore Holly defeating Billy Gunn and Al Snow in 7 minutes and 7 seconds for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Yeah, I thought you'd like this match.
Very disappointing ending.
There's a few strange weapons found. There's a hockey stick, a broomstick. A head was used, so if you know Al Snow, he used his head. Not his head, the Pyrostone.
I can understand the broomstick being on there for cleaning up, but a hockey stick's completely unnecessary.
Why the fuck would you sweep up a wrestling ring?
No, at the end, after they're clearing everything away.
What, they wouldn't hoover?
They had a boating oar in underneath as well, so...
Yeah. Obviously a steel chair. Al Snow gets told by Head, his styrofoam head, to go and get a table. He brings a table in, puts it into the corner, goes to throw, I think it's Hardcore Holly or Mr. Ass, one or the other. One of the two men in the ring into the table, but they reverse it. Al Snow goes flying in. Then there's a famouser onto the chair, and Billy Gunn goes to cover Al Snow, but then Hardcore Holly hits him with the chair and then covers Al Snow for the win. Very sudden.
Yeah.
Then we get the WWF Tag Team Championship match, which is Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, with Deborah, a scantily clad Deborah.
Yeah, I've decided her name should be Debra and Panties because it's awful. She's not wearing anything.
Which is quite ironic because I don't think she ever was in a bra and panties match.
There's no point. She'd lose. She'd walk into the ring and be like, ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
It's them defeating the apparently makeshift team of D'Lo Brown and Test with Ivory in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Apparently Ivory had her face burnt from Terry Runnels the week before.
Little plaster here.
Which I don't understand why we had to know that, because Terry Runnels had absolutely nothing to do with this match.
It wasn't included in anything I mentioned.
And there was a lot of talking in this match that I found out. Test decided to tell D'Lo Brown before they've even started that he ain't worth shit. Right next to the camera. And then there was a sign. There's quite a few signs at this WrestleMania that we pointed out. There was one that said that Deborah was worth $3.16 an hour. I hope Deborah's proud of that. Which is ironic because she marries Stone Cold later on as well.
What, in real life?
In real life,
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that Stone Cold slapped about after a few beers.
Oh.
Once, and he got told off for it, obviously.
I hope so.
Test, right at the beginning of the match, Test is being beaten up by, I want to say Jeff Jarrett, and D'Lo saves him from getting beaten up.
From the sharpshooter.
Oh, so it's Owen Hart. D'Lo saves him from it. Then Test tags in D'Lo Brown, and he says to get your ass in the ring and do something. Straight after he'd saved him from the sharpshooter. No sense. There was a really nice spinning heel kick by Owen. Then Jerry Lawler says, when Deborah speaks for Owen and Jeff, they both rise to the occasion. Jerry Lawler is at his perviest in this. There's a sky high from D'Lo Brown, but Owen manages to stop the count on Jeff Jarrett. Deborah goes up on the apron, and then Ivory decides to knock her down. And then because of that, Deborah and Ivory are having an altercation, and Test comes along to break it up. Whilst that is happening, Owen comes off the top rope to D'Lo, allowing Jeff to cover for the win. and then D'Lo and Test fight after the match, and Ivory's telling Test to do one because she can look after herself.
That was a terrible match.
Obviously, Ivory couldn't look after herself because Deborah, the non-wrestler, was beating her up. Yeah, as you said, horrible match. Then we had the best match of the card. Brawl for All. Okay, those of you that don't know, Brawl for All, WWF decided to do basically what the UFC is now, where they'd have shoot fights in which they'd beat each other up until one gets knocked out. And this was real, none of it was staged. And Bart Gunn won it against all these wrestlers, and he faced Butterbean. For those of you, you may recognise Butterbean, he's an actual boxer. I don't think he's ever been knocked out in his career. He's got quite a few knockouts in his career, and he was also in the Jackass movie, the guy that literally split Johnny Knoxville's head open in a shop whilst beating him up. So this one is going to be a long one. This is probably rivaling the longest WrestleMania match of all time. Nice to see Gorilla Monsoon as one of the judges. Bart Gunn starts to punch Butterbean. Butterbean catches Bart Gunn and he goes down. Then he gets back up. Bart Gunn goes in. Butterbean massively smashes his face in, and Bart Gunn goes down for the knockout in 38 seconds. As a little tidbit for this one, Butterbean actually offered to stage the match, so obviously they sort of like work out how Bart Gunn could beat Butterbean at WrestleMania. But Bart Gunn was like, no, I've knocked out all these people, I'm going to take you on real style. And so Butterbean was like, alright then, and he kicked the shit out of him.
See, I think it's... The only positive is that with this, we know it's genuinely talent again. You know, it's your talent will come through. Like, the actual winner wins. But it just reminded me of why I watch wrestling, not boxing. It's just horrible.
It reminds me...
It's brutal, it's horrible.
That you shouldn't put a fake wrestler into the ring with an actual boxer.
He looked like a child.
There are not many wrestlers out there that could hang with someone like Butterbean. I mean, I can think of, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but he's been in UFC.
He's an actual UFC fighter. You know, maybe Ken Shamrock, because I think Ken Shamrock was in the UFC as well.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, you know, just... Why? Then this random chicken came out. He danced around Vince Pazzini, I think it is, some boxer, and he punched him, and then the chicken got back up and danced around again. We go to the back and we get Mankind with his promo, and he tells the Big Show that he's an angry young man and that he hopes the Big Show can try and have a nice day. Bang, bang. Wrong character.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Sorry. Shame on me.
And then Cole announces that we're about to see the Big Show. Really weird. Michael Cole is on commentary, by the way.
Say again?
The Big Show. Really big show. Michael Cole is on commentary and he's awful. Okay, people think he's bad today. He's awful now because he's amateur. So then we go into the next match. Mankind defeating the Big Show in 6 minutes 52 seconds to earn the right to be the special guest referee for the main event. There's a really horrible spot where Mankind hits the steel steps, but he goes back and flies over the steel steps.
Was this meant to be a no disqualification match?
I don't know whether any match at WrestleMania was meant to be a no disqualification match because the referees didn't give a fuck about no disqualification. It can't have been because there was a disqualification for this match.
Yeah, but it was people taking chair shots and the ref was going, meh.
We was going to cover it, but yeah, there's so many matches on this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Fuck knows what's going on.
People would come into the ring that weren't involved in the match and just join in and nothing would happen.
Oh, it was insane. Right, Big Show misses a punch and falls to the outside, so then Mankind puts on Socko, gets the mandible claw on Big Show on the outside, which brings him in, but Big Show headbutts out of it. Mankind goes for the mandible claw for the third time, and he just low blows Big Show in front of the ref. So Big Show goes down. Mankind gets onto the back of Big Show, and this is really horrible actually, because I know this can actually really hurt. Big Show lifts him up on his back, and then he just falls backwards straight onto Mankind. There was a match like in I think 94, 95, where Mankind did exactly the same spot with Vader, who you saw in the last video, and Vader did exactly the same spot, and it actually cracked like Mankind's ribs.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine that.
3 or 4
If not,
ribs.
it's going to take the wind out.
Yeah, and I can't believe that Mankind still does it. I'm willing to believe that probably that hurt a lot.
You know how that feels, don't you, Dan?
We cracking ribs, yeah. Yeah.
Your very manly injury.
Yes, not quite as manly as that though. Big Show uses the chair to work over the ribs, and then he sets up the 2 chairs like to be like a table sort of thing, and then he goes for the choke slam but misses the
Both
chairs. The chairs open up, and then apparently that miss was so bad the referee had to call for a disqualification. Okay, and fuck knows why that was the disqualification when he was just using the chair on Mankind's ribs. No, that's fine. Yeah. Vince then comes out after the match and literally tells off Big Show because he's basically fucked up the whole plan, and Big Show can't be the special referee for the main event. He tells Show that he's Vince McMahon, damn it, and he's a nothing. You're a nothing. And then
Slaps him.
Big Show, no, first of all, Big Show grabs him by the throat, and then he decides not to. So Vince, you know, being the wise man that Vince is, doesn't think, I think I might have pushed you a bit too far, so I'll calm down. No, instead he slaps Big Show, so Big Show just punches Vince McMahon down.
Knockout punch.
Silly man.
Yeah, and then we go to the back with Vince McMahon, and they're saying that obviously Foley can't be the ref because he's meant to be going to the hospital, but Vince doesn't care because he wants that big son of a bitch arrested for assault. Yeah, apparently wrestlers can't punch people. We then go into the next match, which is Road Dogg putting his WWF Intercontinental title on the line against Ken Shamrock, Goldust, and Val Venus, defeating all 3 of them in 9 minutes and 46 seconds. And Goldust has Blue Meanie and Ryan Shamrock with him. This is a 4 corners match, which means which means that it's like a tag match with the 2 men in the ring, and they can tag out, but it's elimination rules at the same time. Now, to counter that, obviously, the greatness that is the writing staff at this time decided to have 2 of the members counted out at once.
Proper cop-out.
Yeah, what a cop-out. Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn. No, not Billy Gunn, sorry. Ken Shamrock and Val Venus are counted out, which goes down to Goldust and Road Dogg. Val Venus, before the match, says the Intercontinental title will never keep Val's pants on. Gotta love Val Venus. And I saw Bray Wyatt in the crowd, which was awesome. Road Dogg did this horrible thing, and I know he does it all the way through his career, where he goes for a pump handle slam. So Val Venus has his bum to Road Dogg, and Road Dogg thrusts towards Val Venus like he's shagging him up the arse. Why? Why is Road Dogg doing this?
It's funny.
Oh god, it's awful. And then Shamrock obviously upset at getting counted out. Suplexes Goldust and Road Dogg before leaving. Shamrock accidentally grabs Goldust, Ryan Shamrock that is, and then Road Dogg rolls up Goldust for the win. And then after the match, you just have Blue Meanie and Goldust telling Ryan Shamrock to go to the back while she does some really bad acting. We didn't get to see Big Show arrested backstage because we needed to show that because we had a payoff for that later. Oh no, wait, we didn't.
Yeah, arrested. How many police officers were there?
Yeah,
12.
It was quite a few. Hey, it's the Big Show.
He barely fit inside the car.
He didn't fit inside the car.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I reckon he was driving.
Yeah. It's like the Flintstones. He put his feet underneath. Then we get the story for the next match in which Kane accidentally shoots a fireball into Chyna's face, and then later on Triple H, dressed as Goldust, uses a flamethrower to burn Kane's face, which had superficial burns to Kane's skin. My question is, Kane is apparently already burnt all over, so how would they know that he had superficial burns to the skin?
Superficial burns to his scars, Dan.
Superficial burns to his mask, because he's wearing a mask.
Wouldn't that upset you? What if your hat got burned?
I would be very upset if my hat got
There we
burned, but
go.
then I'm not actually been burnt as a child.
There we go.
Right, so we go into the next match where Kane, with Chyna, defeats Triple H in 11 minutes 35 seconds. Before the match, the chicken comes back out.
Oh God!
And he attacks Kane. Kane rips off the mask, and it's Pete Rose for his second appearance.
I would have got away with it. It wasn't for you pesky kids.
Yeah, he would have. If it wasn't for you pesky, burnt, scarred man, you. So Kane tombstones Pete Rose for the second year in a row. We're getting one more of them. Triple H comes out through the crowd to attack Kane. Kane dives into the steps by being whipped into him by Triple H. There's a big red retard sign in the crowd. Nice.
Would not get away with that nowadays.
No, you wouldn't. Kane jumps over the top rope with a clothesline to Triple H, just like The Undertaker did last year's, but obviously Kane actually hit it. Chyna finally comes out. Kane goes for the tombstone, but Triple H counters that into the pedigree. Chyna throws the steel stairs into the ring. Kane grabs the stairs, but Triple H drop kicks stairs into Kane. Again, where is the disqualification? Oh wait, it's coming up because there's a drop toe hold into the stairs on Kane. Triple H turns into a chokeslam, but Chyna gets into the ring with a chair, begging to hit Triple H. And no, she hits Kane, which causes for the DQ. So the steel steps are okay, but the chairs aren't. What the fuck is going on at this WrestleMania?
They don't like chair shots.
Oh, they're like James. Triple H hits Kane with the chair twice, and then pedigrees Kane onto the chair, which means that DX is back together. Remember that DX have just got back together. Michael Cole had a great line here where he turned around and he said that Chyna decided that blood was thicker than money. That's great, because money isn't a liquid, so of course it's thicker. Brilliant, Michael Cole, you're a dick. Kevin Kelly is then backstage, in which Vince McMahon, another thing you have to remember, okay, because this is how good the booking is in these days. Vince McMahon says he has a nice referee shirt in his bag, and he's gonna be the special guest referee.
Yeah, there was no shirt.
Yeah, we'll see that later.
Just a black t-shirt.
Yeah, then we get the amazing WrestleFest that was Sable defeating Tori in 4 minutes 51 seconds for the WWF Women's Championship. Before the match, we are shown that Sable has just done Playboy, and Jerry Lawler says he bought 15 copies. Why? Okay. And then there's a very interesting outfit by Tori, who looks like she's going for an audition for the Thundercats movie or something. Groot. She could be what?
Groot. From Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, right, yeah. You're not expecting me to know that name, surely. But yeah, no, she looks like she could be out of Thundercats.
Or just cats, yeah.
Which is quite funny because Michael Cole thinks that outfit looks like Catwoman's. Michael Cole obviously hasn't seen Catwoman. Then this has an interesting story to it, actually. I didn't get into it. Right, the story of this match is Tori debuted as a weird stalker fan of Sable. So Sable was getting stalked by Tori, but however, this part's real. Sable decided that she didn't want to sign her contract, which meant that Vince and Vince Russo, the writer at the time, wanted to bury Sable as much as possible, so they made her a heel. So now, according to the story, Sable is the bad guy for not liking the stalker fan to stalk her.
What?
Exactly. They didn't think of a way around it. They just said, oh, by the way, Sable's well out of order because Tori only wanted to cut her hair off and keep it in some montage at home or something. Wow.
Tumbleweed.
Exactly. And then, I literally can't go through the spots in this match because everything was botched. Everything was awful. We get, I wrote Nicole Rocky Horror Bass out of the crowd because she looked like a transvestite, which reminded me of the Rocky Horror Show. She attacks Tori, and then Tori gets the Sable Bomb for the win in an awful match. It's just an awful match. We then get the story for the next match, which is Chyna giving Shane McMahon the European title. X-Pac getting attacked by Shane and the Mean Street Posse. And then X-Pac promising to hurt Shane. We then get a DX promo out the back where Triple H says how DX is back together and they're going to be together forever because, that's what it is. We're going to be together we're going to be best friends forever, aren't we? Forever didn't last very long. Right, Shane McMahon putting the WWF European Championship on the line, defeating X-Pac in 8 minutes 38 seconds. Test comes with Shane to the ring. Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe attack X-Pac before he even gets into the ring. Then Shane runs away from X-Pac. There's a spin heel kick to Shane. X-Pac goes for the Bronco Buster, but Test pulls Shane out. Test attacks X-Pac behind the referee. I don't know why, because I don't know why he just didn't do it in front of the referee.
There is no disqualifications.
Shane slaps X-Pac. Shane then goes for the corporate elbow, but X-Pac moves. But Test distracts the ref, and Shane low blows X-Pac, and then uses a belt strap in front of the referee to beat up X-Pac.
There was a 5 count with that.
There was a 5 count for a 5 count for if, like, for instance, when you got a submission in and they get to the ropes and you get the 5 count unless you're disqualified. Yeah, they're doing that for the belt hits.
It's ridiculous.
I don't understand. Right, there's a crossbody off the top rope from X-Pac, and then the Mean Street Posse, who are in the front row, try and grab X-Pac all at once, and then X-Pac just beats them all down. Then Test is beating him up on the outside, and then all of a sudden, Test hits X-Pac with the title belt, and we see Triple H and Chyna come out. Yay! DX are coming for the save. There's an X Factor to Shane. Shane goes to cover, but Chyna distracts the referee. What's going on? And then Triple H slides in, hits the pedigree on X-Pac, and joins the corporation for the 3 count. So what was the point in Chyna reintroducing with X-Pac, DX? What was the point?
To help Triple H out, who's now part of the...
It was bollocks. It was fucking bullshit writing, okay? After the match, Test, Triple H and Chyna start beating up X-Pac until the New Age Outlaws come out. They start getting beaten up. And then the lights go out, and we hear the doo-doo, and the lights don't come back on, and out comes Kane in pitch darkness.
He's already used his fireworks.
Yeah, he only gets 1 firework, you know. So
everybody
Can't
gets one.
afford anymore.
Finally, the lights come on, and Kane's too late. Everyone's just run off. Kane was way too slow. Great save there, Kane.
Just walks around the ring, goes there.
Exactly, he just literally does. That's all he was doing. He wasn't out for the save. He just wanted to take one last circuit of the ring.
He just wanted to go for a walk, bless him.
Yeah.
Everyone's frightened of him. No one wants to play with Kane.
Poor old Kane.
And then
No
have
one
him
wants to
following
play
them
with
backstage, but nothing happening backstage.
Yeah, we don't get to see anything to that. Basically, the storyline after this would be that Kane and X-Pac start teaming, and you get, the Daniel Bryan and Kane storyline where X-Pac, Daniel Bryan thought that Kane, he was the weaker link because of Kane.
Yeah.
That's the storyline we get with Kane and X-Pac, and it leads to X-Pac turning on Kane and him joining up with an evil DX.
Right, diagrams.
Yeah, there weren't no diagrams in those days. Right, so the next match is a real shame because it had a really good story going into it, but a really shit match for it. Undertaker has been threatening Vince McMahon, and he not only abducted Shane, but he also burnt a teddy bear that we later found out was Stephanie McMahon's. Undertaker then sacrifices Bossman on the cross, and Undertaker has built his ministry now, and he wants to take down the corporation. Undertaker gets put under arrest, and Vince McMahon says that he best stay arrested, otherwise he's gonna get you. Doing his best Macho Man Savage impression. Undertaker is then at Vince's house. Well, he thinks he's at Vince's house because then Vince is begging Kane for help, and then Kane takes off his mask, and it's the Undertaker, and he attacks Vince McMahon. Great little storyline, especially as it's 2 heel factions going against each other, because just because they're all, it's not like today where just because they're both bad guys doesn't mean they're friends.
No.
But that doesn't help for this match because obviously it's 2 bad guys facing off against each other.
And just because he's bad guy doesn't make him bad guy.
This is true. So then we go into Undertaker with Paul Bearer defeating Big Boss Man in 9 minutes 46 seconds in the shittest Hell in a Cell match you will ever see.
It had good...
There wasn't that many spots.
Not at all.
No.
This was during an era in which if you had a Hell in a Cell match, someone was falling off that cell or there was going to be a big spot. This isn't like today where it's basically a cage match. This was in the era that you expected something big to happen and they didn't even get out of the cell.
It had so much potential, like anything could have happened. And it was just, they may as well just been having a normal boring match.
Exactly.
They may as well have been having the second match on the card, in the middle of the ring, normal rules.
It was just stupid.
It was an interesting ending.
It was a very controversial ending. It's an ending that you will never hear WWE talk about ever again.
No.
Right, so there's a moment right at the beginning where Big Boss Man knocks Undertaker down and he sits up, and so Big Boss Man kicks him down and then immediately tells him to get back up. Immediately.
He does.
Yeah, so he sits back up and then
Catches the kick.
Yeah, catches him and hits down. Boss Man handcuffs Undertaker with the weakest damn handcuffs you've ever seen. Boss Man then punches. I think he hit Undertaker with the nightstick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which caused Undertaker to fall down, and the handcuffs literally broke.
He literally just sort of went, ugh,
Yeah.
and the handcuffs just fell apart.
So stupid. Then it shows that the Undertaker's busted open. There is a load of funny Paul Bearer facials. You know, so sort of weird.
Just taking the mick out of what's his name as well when he got hit.
The Big Boss Man.
The Big Boss Man.
Yeah. It was just so weird.
Oh.
Yeah. Paul Bearer is the funniest guy for facials. We're only going to have him for one more WrestleMania after this.
Aww.
Yeah. And that's not for 5 more WrestleManias.
We'll save it then.
Yeah. Boss Man is the first person that we've seen so far to block the Old School and knocks him onto the ropes and then kicks him off and onto the cell. And then randomly, out of nowhere, Undertaker hits the tombstone and gets the win.
Yep.
Out of nowhere. But the match isn't the story. It's after the match, okay? The Brood come down from the ceiling and break their way through the cell.
They come down and broke.
Yeah.
Brood
is
they only
obviously...
need to rip a little bit of cell to get a bit of rope.
Yeah,
down.
Brood is obviously Gangrel, Edge and Christian. And then they put a noose through the cell. And Undertaker wraps the noose around Big Boss Man. And Big Boss Man is pulled up. And Big Boss Man jerks like he's being hung and then just goes still. As if he's just been actually hung.
It's continuing the theme from last year.
Kind of, but then, you know, it's quite controversial. I don't understand why they did this.
No.
I don't know if there was some sort of strobe lighting or whether it was just all the pictures being taken, but all you saw, was this man hanging in the middle of the air because the whole Rick Cage had all been taken up with him hanging.
Yeah.
And you just got to see glimpses through the light of this man swinging. It was...
Then we went to a promo.
We did. Before we go into the promo, though, I'd like to say, first of all, that Big Boss Man, I think, whenever you see, like, the streak, you always see, like, the gravestones, yeah? This is a personal thing, just a personal thing. I always don't like the fact that Big Boss Man has a gravestone because, obviously, the man who plays Big Boss Man is actually dead in real life, and I think it's bad taste.
Oh.
And I think seeing him being hung here is even worse because, obviously, you know that he's dead. And Michael Cole was too busy going, is it symbolic? Is it symbolic?
Yeah, but that's the same as you being uncomfortable with seeing, say, like, Owen Hart wrestle.
No, I think it's
somebody else. Like,
I think it's a bit different. I mean, to be fair, loads of people are very uncomfortable in seeing Chris Benoit wrestle for very good reason. But I think it's different to seeing them wrestle, to see them
symbolically killed.
Big Boss Man is pretending to be dead whilst being hung. You know, it's a bit of a.
Is he in the later?
Oh yeah, he comes back. He's on Raw the next night.
How does he do that?
Exactly.
Great selling, yeah.
We then go into, like you said, the promo for the main event, Rock versus Austin, number 1.
It was really interesting though, because it was all happy.
Yeah.
You got a picture of Big Boss Man hanging, and it just got a happy promo.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. It's like they don't sort of like go, oh god, this is really horrible. It's like literally, Big Boss Man has been hung, and now on to the main event, sort of thing. Really weird. We get to see the Austin Vince match at Valentine's Day Massacre, where Big Show debuts and throws Austin through the cage, which causes Austin to be able to go to WrestleMania to face The Rock for the WWF title. We get to see Rock and Show, who are both in the corporation, obviously disliking each other. Sorry. Then we get to see Rock being stunned by Austin, and then Vince promising to make sure that Austin there's no chance in hell he will be the champion. We get to see the famous beer truck moment where Austin comes out and douses everyone in beer and tells Rock he is going to burn that son of a bitch to the ground, talking about the SmackDown Hotel. We get the rock bottom to Austin, but then Austin beating Big Show to make sure that he can go to WrestleMania, because before this, Austin had to go through so many hurdles to get this match. Kind of like how they're trying to build up Daniel Bryan, but this was obviously done well. And then Austin obviously promising to be the next WWF champion. Michael Cole goes into the ring and announces he's finally leaving us, and JR comes out to commentate the main event. You know, you've got to have JR for the best one. And then we go into the main event. Stone Cold defeating The Rock in 16 minutes 55 seconds for the WWF Championship. And first of all, Vince McMahon comes out. Where the fuck is his ref shirt?
Just the black one.
Yeah, he said he had it in his bag. Apparently not. He obviously lied. Then Shawn Michaels comes out as the WWF commissioner.
There's no surprise. We like surprises.
Apparently, Shawn Michaels being the WWF commissioner can overpower the WWF owner, because the commissioner is the only man who can name a special guest referee.
But if he is.
Bullshit. Okay. And then he banned Corporation from ringside except Vince McMahon. And this match is actually no disqualification.
Sort of.
Yeah, except for the fact that when they're beating each other down, the referee does the 1, 2, 3, like the 5 count to try and disqualify them.
Maybe
Well,
he's just
when they're
practicing.
strangling them, weren't they?
Yeah.
They just randomly started
He's
5
just
count.
practicing his counting or something.
Well, why up to 5 then? He only needs to practice to 3. Well, actually, that referee didn't. Because, let's keep score at home, okay? Mankind was meant to be the special guest referee. He's out. That's 1 referee down. Vince McMahon was meant to be the special guest referee. He's out. That's 2 down, okay? So let's keep count. That's 2, okay? I'm going to keep 2 up, okay? There's a brawl through the crowd. Rock chokes Austin with the cable, and then Austin gets backdropped onto the light bars and catches his knee, which looks quite horrible.
It did look
Yeah, it
quite
looked
painful.
horrible.
Yeah, it was obviously planned, but it looked really bad. Rock gets thrown into the camera pole, which is quite funny, and then
Into the sign.
into the WrestleMania sign, which rocked like a bitch. It was like, raw. I thought it was falling off.
Yeah.
Then there's a suplex on the outside, and then Rock does what he used to do a lot in these days. He doesn't really do it anymore. Rock grabbed the water bottle and drank a little bit and just spat it in Austin's face. This was during the days in which Rock was fucking bang on everything. During his matches, he used to get a water bottle and spit it into people's faces. He'd suddenly grab the commentator's microphone and start commentating on the match. There's actually a rematch, which I wish we were watching, of this match at Backlash, where he grabs one of the cameras and like pans to the crowd, and then he turns around and he gets a stunner, but they keep it on the camera, so it's like a first-person shot stunner.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
We need to watch that.
Then Austin drops the elbow onto Rock on the announcer's table, which doesn't give, so Austin does it again to make sure. Then Austin goes and gets the water and spits it in Rock's face. There's a rock bottom out of nowhere in the ring, but Austin kicks out. Rock isn't very happy about that. And Rock goes to use the chair, but Rock gets kicked. Austin grabs the chair, and he hits the ref, so that's 3 down. 3 referees down.
Didn't he rock bottom a ref?
No,
as well?
that's coming up.
Okay.
And then the chair is hit onto Rock for a 2 count. Then Rock is very unhappy and he rock bottoms the ref. So 4 refs down. We're down to 4. Okay. Then Vince ends up coming out, and so Austin threatens Vince before Rock low blows Austin, in which another referee comes out, and then he counts for the 2. So that's 5 referees who now just gets punched out by Vince McMahon. 5 referees. Okay. And then as Vince is hitting down the ref, no, not the ref, Austin, Mankind's back to be the special guest referee.
Meant to be in hospital.
Yeah. So the 6th referee, I'm still counting Mankind because he was meant to be the ref at the start.
Yeah.
6 referees for this match. He knocks down Vince and kicks him out of the ring. Austin rolls up Rock for a very close 2 count. Then Rock goes for the rock bottom. Austin slips out of it, goes to kick for the stunner. Rock catches the leg, turns him around for the rock bottom. No, Austin spins that around. Stunner, 1, 2, 3. We got a new champ.
Yeah.
How many refs does it take to ref a rock match?
6. Yeah.
6.
Vince is visibly crying because Austin is the champ
Best.
after the match, which is quite funny.
Always good to see him in that match.
And that was that
Agony.
WrestleMania ended with Austin being the champ. I'd like to say that it's so good to see The Rock being The Rock.
Yeah.
So awesome seeing The Rock being
See.
The Rock. It's just, and we've got him now, I think, for the next 5 or 6 WrestleManias, and gotta love The Rock. Yes! So we'll go into our awards for what was a fucktacular WrestleMania. Okay.
It was.
It's pretty abysmal.
Yeah, which is a shame because the last WrestleMania was so good.
Yeah.
There were bits of it. It was almost like tiny little aspects of nearly every match was incredible, like entertaining, but you know.
Well, let's go into wrestler of the night. Tony. Austin.
Yeah.
Austin's your wrestler of the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Chipmunk.
You go first.
Why?
Because I'm still deciding.
If it turns out to be fucking Shawn Michaels.
No.
Right,
I was really
That's
excited
her
for it.
moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for The Rock because The Rock is just so entertaining, so fun to watch. So to be fair, we picked 2 of the biggest wrestlers.
I
going
think
back.
it probably would, and I feel bad now because you've both said, but it probably does have to be Austin. I think.
2-1.
You know what? You
Sorry.
two keep going on the same votes. I see what's going. How about match of the night?
Was there really a choice?
Final match.
Final match,
See,
yeah.
I said that first.
Yeah, it's got to be the main event. Main event was the best match, which is a shame because I'd like to say that because obviously all the stupid shenanigans going on, we are going to get 3 Rock Austin WrestleMania matches, and this is the worst one.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
This is the worst
It was
one.
quite a good match.
They get so much better. The second one is probably one of my favourite WrestleMania matches of all time, and the third one is just as good. But that's for later. Anyone got any lines of the night? Commentator lines?
No.
Anything that came out of Fimish's mouth.
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
I'd like to change it to sign of the night.
Yeah, I know. I think we're gonna have to merge them because there were a lot of good signs. There was one that just said, "I need to poop." Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you doing that at the main event then? I really liked the Deborah is worth $3.16 an hour. I really liked that sign. Is that your 2's sign of the night?
Yeah.
I need to poop. Yeah, brilliant. What have we got? Moment. WrestleMania moment.
It's not exactly my moment, but I guess one of the most memorable moments probably has to be when, oh no, I forgot his name. Was in the match when China came in and distracted the ref.
X-Pac.
Yes, is that one when he got covered?
He got covered.
Yeah.
What do you mean? When he got covered after doing the X Factor?
No, he won, didn't
And
I'll
Shane.
face myself now. Yeah.
So when he got
The distraction.
pedigreed.
I can't remember.
Oh my god, your moment's amazing.
I didn't have a moment. I didn't think it was very
You
good.
didn't have a
No.
moment.
The Undertaker, like when they all came down from the sky was breaking.
Actually, no. Yeah, the hanging was my moment because it was just a shock matter.
How could you put the hanging as
'Cause it
your
was
moment
just
of the
shock.
night? Wow.
I was not expecting it.
My moment of the night is going to be The Rock spitting the water into Austin because that's what I love about The Rock.
The revenge one was better.
What, Austin?
Yeah.
You can imagine Austin's water being really dirty. When he spits
It's
it back
covered
on.
in. There's probably like beer in there as well.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do it with a bit.
That's probably what's happened. Austin thought it was beer and he's gone, there's no alcohol in this.
Spit this out somewhere.
Do we know, have we clarified what your moment of the night is?
It's a merge of 2.
No, because I was confused by who.
Let's face it, she's trying to pull it, like, pretend it isn't, but it was obviously Shawn Michaels.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, it was. I've never seen someone mark out so much. So let's put it as that. Right, overall rating of this WrestleMania. Remember that last night's WrestleMania got a 7 out of 10.
More or less.
Yeah.
2.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Chipmunk.
5.
I'm going to give it a 3 Yeah, I think the only reason that we're not giving it as low as you is because we've seen some god awful WrestleManias.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, WrestleMania 11. Oh god, and 4. But yeah, the main event was really good.
It's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, I actually didn't mind the Shane X-Pac match because Shane actually, you really hated Shane because of what was going on. So that was WrestleMania 15. We've got WrestleMania 16 next, aka WrestleMania 2000. Where there's 3 big matches in this one. I'm going to tell you all 3 of them. Okay, we got our WrestleMania debuts of 3 of the best. Okay, Chris Jericho versus Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit for the Intercontinental and the European Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Ah, that's cool.
Damn,
That's cool.
That's gonna be a good match.
Yeah. The main event. I'm telling you the main event first because the last one I think is one of the best matches. Is Triple H putting the WWF Championship on the line in a 4-man elimination match against Big Show, Rock, and Mick Foley.
Oh,
With a McMahon in every corner.
that's awesome.
Which means that I think Vince is with The Rock, Shane is with Big Show, Stephanie McMahon is with Triple H.
We had to see Steph
and
at
then
WrestleMania.
Linda is with
Linda.
Mick Foley. Yeah. Linda's Vince's
Linda.
wife.
Fair enough.
Okay, and then the big match
Austin.
is no Austin.
No Austin.
Is injured. He's got his neck
Right.
injury. We have a triangle ladder match. It's Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus the
Whoa.
Dudley Boys. This is the match
Whoa.
that helped create tables, ladders, and chairs. Wicked match. We're gonna get an awesome match in that one.
TLC.
It's not TLC. That's WrestleMania 17.
Oh,
It's WrestleMania 16, that's which is the triangle ladder match. So we got a pretty big one coming up. I think they're the 3 only good matches we shall see. But that was WrestleMania 15. That was Chipmunk. I was Bingham. That was Tony. That was Forks. We'll see you tomorrow for WrestleMania 16/2000. Subscribe, like, comment, all that crap because she always reminds me at the end of the thing. And we'll see you tomorrow for
professionalism.
The Rock versus Triple H versus Mick Foley versus Big Show.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah, in the main event.
It's
See you
going to be
tomorrow.
amazing. Bye.